recipe. You can just use your favorite vegetables, some avocados, adjust it based on your liking. They're so delicious. I've added some rice, then I will put in the oven. So just place all your favorite ingredients in the bowl. So crunchy. This is so tasty. So yeah, if you pick it, so yummy, so soft, and this is one of my favorite poke bowls.
How did you like the B-roll? You could say that I made a collab with Daniel Schiffer. Well, sort of. He had a challenge, the footage was his, and I created this. So drop a comment under the like button and let me know what you think about the edits. Also, if you search on YouTube and type Daniel Schiffer Pokeball, you can see the other contests. So I am really curious what you think about mine. That being said, I will walk you through how I edited, what was my thought process, how it was like, and I know that the contest was a while ago, but if you are watching, drop a comment on Daniel's channel and let him know that you like this video as well. What's up everyone, Peter here. Without further ado, let's dive in, but first, intro. This challenge by Daniel Schiffer in collaboration with StoryBlocks was about him recreating a kitchen scene where they are making a Pokeball, one of their favorite dinners, with his girlfriend, and they made a cooking video a few years ago, and this is why this challenge was exciting, and he wanted to see how his audience, his fellow creators come up with ideas that can shock him. When I'm recording this, I still don't know what the result is, but I will do a reaction because when I upload this, I will already know, so I will somehow incorporate it in the video, but you should watch it till the end to find it out. Anyways, the first thing I did, so Daniel created this pack, it was very well made, organized, everything. So the first thing I did, that I actually imported it to Final Cut Pro, my editor of choice, but you can do it in any editor you want. And if you are in Final Cut, you can see that everything is here, but it's also organized by keywords. That being said, with the creative flow, the first thing that you should do is something that is called a string out. Basically, if you look at it, you line up all the footage you have, you combine it, you create your first version of the storyline. If there are similar footage, usually I just tag them up on each other. And if you see it here with the cucumbers, there are different shots, them being dropped in or poured in to the bowl. So the first version, when you have that, then you have a general idea what footage you're gonna work with, what is the story that you want to come up with. Then the second version of the string out is when you do the same, but you start sorting it out, you decide what footage you wanna use, you kind of throw out the ones that you don't wanna use, you re-edit your timeline so it will look similar to the timeline, to the storyline that you want to do in your final edit. And then once you are done with that, I'm gonna go now to the final edit, but I will break it down to you. So the first thing I did, let me just mute every sound here. So the first thing I did is that I knew that what is the order of the clips, but here you see all the clips. So first I decided which shot actually I'm gonna use, and did the last part of the reorganization, which was basically about how one clip can transition to the other, because transition is everything once you have the story. Well, story is king, but to tell the story, to have this creamy B-roll, the smooth transition is an essential. So I will walk you through what I did. I did two things actually. So one was, of course, deciding the transitions, and the other, as you can see, so Daniel's footage is already slowed down to 120 FPS, and that's what 100% is. So I didn't need it to slow it down more. I did it at one spot. I will let you know where, and that is a trick in Final Cut Pro that you should be aware of. So I will tell you it in a second, but first I had the slow footage, and I also did speed ramps, and you can see these small parts here which can decide how smooth or how easy it ins in. That's what it's called, ease in to the transition to with the different speeds, if you will. So I did that and then decided what the transition is. So for example, here with the knife, the next shot I had is a cucumber. So I ended up using Motion VFX's plugin. It's M Transitions. I highly recommend it. Links are under the like button, which by the way, you should press if you like this video, and you should get this plugin if you are a Final Cut Pro or DaVinci user. So I use this wipe left plugin, and as you can see, as the movement of the knife is when Daniel's girlfriend takes it out, is from left to right from our angle, and the cucumber is thrown from left to right. So I think this aligns really well. So I went through them with every transitions. You already saw that, and that's pretty simple. That's the first thing I'm gonna do. And the last thing that I'm gonna tell you here, to make it even smoother, I added some motion blur. This is the small little adjustment layers that I put in, and with every transitions or speed runs where I saw a fit, I put a motion blur so it would look more, of course blurry, but more smooth, more creamy, if you will. Okay, once I had that, I had the order, I did the speed ramps, I did the transitions. The next thing I did was actually color grading the footage, because if you look at it, it's a log profile, which is very flat, desaturated. So I played around with the color board. Actually, it was so easy to color grade, just adjust the blacks and the whites, increase the saturation. One thing I noticed in Daniel's footage, that not all of them was in like the same color temperature, or maybe it was my color grading, but I also played around with the global color, and I went from like -5 to usually down, because it was too warm for my taste, basically. So I did that, and on top you see two adjustment layers. So one is a final LUT that I actually took from Daniel's LUT packages, and if you see, there is just this very, very slight tint. It's with 23%, and it just puts the general vibe of the whole footage together. It combines a better color profile, if you will. The other thing is, you can barely see it, I added a little sharpness, because I found that maybe with his settings in his Sony camera, I use a Sony camera as well, but I felt that it's too, not blurry, but not as sharp for my taste as I want it to be, so I added just a 1.3 amount of sharpness to it. Okay, what else did I do? I added some color leak effects. Now here you can see, actually, if I turn it off, you can see that there is this little washed out and with some light leaks there. And I think for a kitchen kind of B-roll, I think it is a very nice fit. So I added it to some places, but a very important note that you shouldn't overdo anything. The color grading, the sound effects, the other effects, the transitions, nothing. So that's why if you look at it, it's like 10% opacity, because I changed the blend mode to add and also decreased the opacity to 10%. And this is just, when you look at it, you can feel this small vibe here that something else is going on, something more is going on, if you will. The other thing, if you have noticed, was when there were two parts when I used Pixel Film Studios' brush tool. So when the girlfriend puts down the avocado, there are these lines, and also when she throws the peppers, then you can also see that there is this effect. And I love and hate this effect at the same time, because it's so hard to create. You have to literally go frame by frame and draw the lines or whatever shapes you want to use. So let me show you how it is. When you go here, you have a brush editor, and when it pops in, you can see that I could draw here. I'm not going to do that because it's already done, and you just go frame by frame. There was another transition. If you saw that, then drop a comment, because you have a very good eye for detail. So let me show you also the shot with the peppers when it's being chopped and then thrown to a little bowl. Did you notice it? Okay, let me show the clip again without that small trick. It's a hard cut, and I think it's okay. And Feel free to use shortcuts. You don't need to use smooth transitions and whatever effects all the time, but I wanted to go one step further. So here is it originally, and here is it again. Did you see it? Okay, so what I did was that, of course, this is the second clip, and of course it had parts before I did the cut, and actually this is what it's here. And what you can see that I created a mask around the pepper falling, because, you know, if I take this draw mask out, you see the second clip like everything. But now I did that, I added a little motion blur, and this kind of like just sticks the two scenes together. So let me show you the final result one more time. It's just a small thing to do. Okay, the last part that I want to show you is actually the hero shot, the first scene. I wanted to add some text, and of course we are making a Pokeball, so I used Motion VFX's M Tracker 3D. It's a very cool plugin to play around 3D when you have just a 2D footage. So basically you just apply it to your footage, you track it, it does everything automatically, you copy the track, and then whatever extension you are gonna use, I just used a simple text overlay and I pasted the track there, adjusted the content. With these little lines here, you can decide where you want it to be in the space. I adjusted the position. You can also use light color, shadows if you want. So now I apply shadows, but of course I don't feel that it was a fit. You can add noise, which I don't like. If you look at it closely, you see that now there is noise on the footage. I don't like that. And of course you can add blur and play around with it. And now, since it was like an orbit 3D movement, I thought it would look super cool, especially with the transition, how it goes to the next scene. So yeah, now I was done with the edit, but that's barely half of it, because now I need the music. I use Epidemic Sound. I love them. There is a link in the description and you can get a discount if you choose my link. Of course, as a disclaimer, this is a affiliate link, but anyways, I found this really cool song, so let me show you the song. And there was actually a trick with the song as well. So it's a nice song, but of course a song is like what, 3 minutes long. So I found different parts of the clip that I want to use and what ending I want to use. And here, as you can see, there are different clips. And I adjusted it to the beat, and I add a fade in, fade out, and this is how it turned up. I think it was a nice ending, so that's what I changed. So I had the music, but since it's a recipe, it's a cooking video, I found a recipe just on YouTube, and as you can see, I chopped it up. I have different parts and I created the same length and played around with it, what I want to use. And I also wanted it to be aligned with the clip. So first she's telling that she's making Pokeball. When she's chopping avocados, there is something about avocados or pouring rice. So this is just the recipe. Let me show you.
Today I'm sharing a couple of Pokeballs recipe with you. You can just use your favorite vegetables, some avocados, delicious.
Now the rice.
Delicious. I've added some rice.
And I think if you look at it all together, it just fits. It's a small touch that can, you know, these are the little big details that can go beyond what is expected. All right, so that was music, but of course, a video, a creamy B-roll is nothing without sound effects. So before I break down all the sound effects, let's check the clip just with sound effects without music and the recipe. What did you think? If you liked it, There is a simple way to show it. Smash that like button. Now, let's check out what I did first. Actually, there are different roles, as you can see. And first, what I was using is I added applicable sound effects wherever it was a fit for the B-roll. So there is a knife or a chopping and some other things that I'm going to show you in a second. I added sound effects. So here it is. And now the chopping. And the other thing, so of course I didn't have a sound effects and I didn't have the time to get some peppers and throw them on the table and record it. So the closest thing that I could find is actually from a bowling alley when they are playing and they are hitting a strike. But I think it's good. It's funny. So what do you think? If it's not funny, just let me know. But if we listen to it again with all the music and everything, it fits. And here a very important thing is that it shouldn't be loud. Nothing should be loud. Nothing should be overused. Not the colors, not the transitions, not the effects. And that applies to sound effects as well. So you can barely hear them, but still your unconscious mind can hear that. And that's everything what it is about to create a crispy, creamy B-roll. Okay, once I added these effects, then I went on the whooshes, since that was, the beginning, that how the transitions are. And if you listen to it, there are some whooshes. Let's listen to just this one transition without a whoosh. Nothing. But if there is a whoosh, again, the little big details. Then we also had chopping, so there were some hits. So I added some hit sound effects. Again, you have to decrease the volume a lot because you don't want your clip to clip, so actually it'd be too loud before above 0 decibel. So you also have, once you edit everything, as you can see now, it's -14, this is -10, this is okay 0, this is -23, the recipe is -17. So always adjust the volume of the music, the sound effects, everything, and check the master sound that it shouldn't be clipping at all time, and it should have a good ratio of what is emphasized and what's not. So that's it from me. If you liked it and this is the first time that we met, I have a couple of asks, if you will. First, hit that subscribe button and the like button. Drop a comment what you think about this, or if you did something similar, share it. I would love to check it out. And also, go over Daniel's channel and say hi to him and let him know that you saw mine and this sort of collab is a great thing. He should keep inspiring us and create other challenges. Maybe you participate in it as well. But I am in the middle of creating some other B-roll videos and also showing some tech reviews with gears that I use to make these things. I created the whole video in less than a day and I record now this vlog. So to do this, there are so many tools and skills that you need to figure out. So if you are into creamy B-rolls, check this video out. And if you want to learn more about a certain gear, here are some videos of that as well. So that being said, I really hope to catch you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye.